Yeah.
And now I got it right there. So
Let's call the meeting to order, Town of Cedar Point regular meeting, Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. Pastor Jeff Duncan from Grace Church in Swansboro is going to lead us into prayer, and then everybody will remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, what an honor to remember you, to seek you, to remember that every good and perfect gift comes down from you. We thank you for this town of Cedar Point. We thank you for the residents who have the privilege of living here. We thank you for these commissioners and the call that you placed upon their lives to serve you here. And as they have asked, Lord, we pray for wisdom. Wisdom for the commissioners, wisdom for citizens. We pray that the results of this meeting would lead to the common good for the city, would honor you, would promote unity within the town. So we just are joyful to look to you, to ask for your help and blessing, and trust you for, Lord, thank you for your good grace to us. We pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hands out.
I was just gonna tell you, I texted her, she's on her way.
She is. Okay, Frankie's not going to be here. If I can get the motion to excuse him. Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Frankie's now excused. Thank you all for coming out. Was it hot when you came?
Yes, sir.
I told David, I started to call him and say, look, we need to cancel this meeting. I can't go outside this. This is rough. Man, it's like you walk outside, it's like somebody put a hand on your head and just mash you to the ground. It's crazy. Okay, everybody had a chance to look at the agenda and the consent agenda. Any changes, additions, deletions, anything you want to discuss in it? If not, I entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we adopt the attendance consent agenda.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Okay, David, public hearing for adoption of the Pamlico Sound Hazard Mitigation Plan.
All right, so I sent this out, 2 months ago, to give you some lovely reading, in case you were interested in doing, some late night reading to put you to sleep. It is about 800 some pages. The link was in the packet. If anyone wants to go back and take a look at it later, you can click the link right there in the packet, and it will bring it up for you. It is something that we are required to review every 5 years. It is the Pamlico Sound Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. It is not just for the town of Cedar Point. We are one of many entities that participated in this. You can see right there at the top, Carteret, Craven, Pamlico, and I think Beaufort County were the 4 counties, and all the, oh, sorry, I'm on the, sorry, didn't have it on the right screen there for you. So those are the 4 counties, and all of the municipalities in those counties work together through a consultant to put the plan together. And the purpose is to address hazards that we might experience and how we might prepare to mitigate those. There are different sections for each county, for each type of risk. And then towards the end is a section that talks about all the things that can be done in each of these counties to kind of help mitigate those risks. It is something we go over every year as part of our community rating system. If you'll recall, I'll give you an update each year of where we stand in making progress towards any of those. Most of it is more or less cooperating with FEMA and some other things. One thing that we did put in the budget for this coming fiscal year that was in this plan was the construction or the purchase of a backup generator for town hall for emergency purposes. That is something that's recommended. It's been in the plan, and so we would be moving forward with that next year under the approved budget. But that is the plan. I'm happy to go through whatever detail you'd like. Or answer any questions.
Okay, entertain a motion to open public hearing.
Make a motion, we open public hearing.
Motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Now in public hearing. Okay, by law, we have to have a public hearing on this. It's why we had one. If anybody has any questions about this, David can more than be happy to answer it for you.
David will try to answer it for you.
As he said, how many pages is this thing?
857.
It's a lot.
A lot of stuff. So, anybody like to give it a shot? We'll get you guys on your public hearing in a little bit. Motion closed.
Motion.
A motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have any questions for David? Thank you. He didn't give you no notes, did he?
So of the town staff that participated, both myself and Alicia and Frankie were part of the team that worked together with all these other municipalities. We had several meetings over the last 12 to 18 months on this.
Nice. All right. Have a motion on the
Yep.
floor?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the Pamlico Sound Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Now adopted. Thank you. Okay, public hearing, the adoption of the Western Carteret Bike and Pedestrian Plan. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion, we open public hearing.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Now an open public hearing. David.
All right, so this plan is the plan that we have been working together with the other towns of Bow, Cape Carteret, and Pelletier. It is the one that we received the grant that covered the overwhelming majority of the cost for this plan. And the purpose was to create a plan that we can use when we apply for other grant funding to show that whatever we're asking for at that point in time isn't something that we just kind of decided on a whim that, hey, let's put in a sidewalk here, to show that there has been some thought process put into it, as well as a regional approach. How are the different communities connected through bicycle and pedestrian access ways? You can see the logos here of the different towns. It has been already approved by the Integrated Mobility Division at NCDOT, which was a prerequisite part of it. And then ACOM was our consultants that worked on it. You can see the entirety of the team that's been working on the plan, including myself, again, Alicia, and then TJ Williams from our planning board served on this team as well. It does provide you both detailed descriptions of all of the projects that have been proposed by the team, as well as some initial cost estimates. And then you have some lovely maps of all the different locations, both existing and proposed sidewalks, multi-use paths, boardwalk, things of that nature. So anything bike and pedestrian related. And it's for those that like detail, it is 280 pages as well. So hasn't been a small feat either. It did get hung up. We had pretty much finished all of our work back in September of last year. And then the IMD division at DOT kind of held it up for quite a while. They had some staff turnover and some restructuring within their division. And they finally approved it this past month. So we've just kind of been sitting on it, waiting for now. But I'm open to any questions that you might have.
Okay, we already called for the public. You're ready to go. So we made a motion. Has anybody got any questions for David about this bike plan? Anybody on the board? No?
Yeah, if you have one, yeah. What's the time frame? Do they have a time frame set
For
starting the process?
No, the plan is more or less something that we adopt so that as we apply for different grants and they say, okay, is this referenced in your CAMA land use plan?
Gotcha.
Is this referenced in any kind of Carter County Comprehensive Transportation Plan? Do you have a separate bike and ped plan? In each kind of time that you've gone through this process to say, hey, we're looking at this, we've ranked these projects, these are our priorities. It kind of gives you more points, if you will, in their scoring process. When they determine who to give money to. And that's really the bulk and the purpose of going through this exercise. As well as making sure we're coordinating with our neighbors. Was an important piece of that as well.
Thank you.
You know, every time we talk about building something here, we're trying to connect it to Carteret and Swansboro and everywhere else. We can get bike trails everywhere. We'll be a lot better off, especially, you know, if they keep moving the roads in the direction that we want them to in the next 50 years. So, I mean, that'll be very important. Everything we've done has helped us get money. And you know that, you did it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was asking, what's the time frame? Because I know how crucial that is in time it takes.
Yeah, the carbon reduction program is one that's kind of on an ongoing basis. So once we have this completed, I can figure out when their next deadline is for submission. They do it every so often, and then we can start looking at that.
Motion closed.
Move to close public hearing.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to adopt.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the Western Carteret Bike and Pedestrian Plan.
You got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Got a plan, David.
All right, thank you.
Okay, relinquishment of the extraterritorial jurisdiction. We already had our public hearing on this Thursday a month ago, I guess. So really you guys don't have any questions for David about this right now? I'm not asked for a motion.
Has there been any pushback or any comments or concerns?
No, we had one person call in the last month asking when this would take place so they could figure out whether they need to get the permit from us or the county.
Oh,
That's the only call that I remember. I don't know if James.
There was quite a lot on the list. How many people were on that list?
There's about 330 properties.
Yeah.
so
I mean, it's. a
Yeah,
lot.
the entirety of the resolution here that has to be recorded provides both the parcel identification number and the physical address for each of them where there is an address. You'll see that some of them will say unaddressed where the county hasn't assigned an address for it. But then there's also the map to accompany it.
So how many are wanting to get out of the ETJ right now? Just one made a response about it?
No, they weren't asking to get out of the ETJ.
They just want to know who.
They're just wanting to know what's the timeline on this process. So
Okay.
they know who to go through.
Okay.
okay.
Mayor, I'll make that motion to relinquish the ETJ.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
For the record, can you clarify that by relinquishing the ETJ, you were in fact adopting the ordinance to relinquish the ETJ?
Excuse me, to also approve ordinance 2025-03.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just make sure our record's clean.
Hey, Deputy, you back there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, to the board members, and good evening to y'all. We've had problems over at Western Park for a couple months. Today I was able to introduce myself to some individuals that have been terrorizing that place. Tomorrow I'll be taking warrants on both of them. One of them's already in jail. He had outstanding warrants, and we picked him up today out here at Cedar Point. Traffic is picking up. People are coming more and more. And what we're seeing is we're starting to see a lot of people who live in Cedar Point trying to use their golf carts going across 24. And driving down 24 in peak hours, which is real dangerous unless you're within North Carolina general statutes. So we're making a point to try and educate them about that. There's a couple other things that I've talked to the town manager about that I'm dealing with, which no problem at all. But everything's going good in Cedar Point. Sir.
Lieutenant, what were the ages of the two individuals?
The first one was 17 years age and the other one was 18, sir. And they are both Cedar Point residents.
Technically adults.
Yes, sir. So that we treated accordingly. Is there anything I can do for you all?
To stay safe,
Just
Yeah.
keep doing what you do.
you know,
Here
and
we go. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank
You
you.
can do anything about that traffic, you're a good man.
Yes.
But you know, there's highway patrol working that road today.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. I saw them in this morning, and then I saw them right before lunch.
Well, we actually had the crime suppression unit down here today. We were working together on some things. So there was a good mixture of HP and deputy sheriffs down here today.
It's just crazy what people do. I mean, they drive down the center of the road 60 miles an hour. I mean, you know, if you're turning out of your home here, you better look both ways and be careful. Because somebody will drop down on you to pass somebody in that suicide lane.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Thank you, sir. Call me if you need me. Hey, David.
All right, let me get back to the top here. Couple things to give you some updates on. This past month, I was able to attend the certificate of need hearing for the hospital project. I was asked to speak on their behalf. The hearing went very well. We didn't have anyone opposed to it. Everybody that spoke was in favor of it. It was a very good hearing, well attended, and a lot of good positive comments and feedback came out of it. So I'm hopeful that we'll hear something from them pretty soon. I don't have a deadline though. They have a period of time where they can consider it. But everything looked positive. We have, as we have in the past couple of years, we're towards the end of our fiscal year, trying to use up what we have of our park improvement funds for the park. So I have contacted Sunland. They're going to be providing some gravel in the kayak parking areas. Last year we did the road going to the kayak area. This year they're going to pull some of that excess grass back and put the gravel in there. Hopefully cut down on the number of people doing donuts in it. It's one thing to throw some dirt, but you start throwing some rocks on your own car. Hopefully that'll deter them a little bit. We are moving forward with putting together plans for the CAMA access grant for the bathroom construction out there at the park. I met with Jonathan McDaniel earlier today to go ahead and work on that site plan. One thing that we've come across that I'll need the board's guidance on will be the location of the bathroom itself. In looking at it, and I'll pull it up for you on the screen here in just a second. So the initial design that we had put together was to put the bathroom facility right here. You can see my mouse, a little hand. right in front of the parking area at the front. Of course, we can't put it towards the back because of the conservation easement that we have there. This location was chosen because there's an existing septic system already there that we could tie directly into, right beside of it. There used to be a mobile home that sat there years ago. What we've come to realize is we're about 10 feet short of meeting our own setback requirements for a rural agricultural district. We require 50-foot setback from the front property line, which would be this property line here. And that bathroom facility is about 27 feet, which would push us out here into the parking lot by about 10 feet. So we have a few options. We can do that. We can push the parking lot back another 10 feet. The board can ask the planning board to take a look at drafting a text amendment to reduce the setback for park facilities or however you want to address that to something less than 50 feet if you want to keep that exact same location. Or alternatively, you could move it over here to the side a little bit, meet that 50-foot. We may wind up having to put a pump in to pump the septic over to the septic system. A little bit of additional cost, but not significant. So just trying to figure out where you want to go with that. So I can advise Jonathan, because next month you'll need to make a decision on submitting the CAMA access grant application.
I'd say send it to a planning board.
Yeah.
The text amendment.
If you put it in the parking lot, you still have to have a pumping system.
You'd be close enough. You should have enough room for gravity feed into it.
David, as a second possibility, could you send it theoretically to the Board of Adjustment and just get a waiver from them?
It wouldn't meet the legal requirements for a variance.
You don't need to do it. You don't need to do that anymore.
Okay.
You still have plenty of room.
Yeah, I would look into the fact of eliminating trying to put a pump out there.
I would too, definitely
Because
would.
It's headaches.
That's just something else to go wrong.
I would relocate the parking lot and put it in the parking
We
lot.
can-
Just reconstruct, not relocate it, but reconfigure the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, pumps are good, but pumps can go bad
Sure,
and it
yeah,
can
I
create
would-
more of a headache later for
Avoid that altogether.
the staff. And I think if it's a situation where we can send it back to the planning board and let them.
I
Yeah,
think
do
it'd
it
be
that-
all right, just like my building. You made me move my building. It's no difference.
Yes, we did.
It works fine. It works fine.
That's my
There's
biggest,
no harm, no foul.
I'm with you, Jerry.
yeah, that's my biggest concern. I try to eliminate that if we could. And the additional cost, and we know we're in a good spot if we don't have to do that.
So what do you suggest? Just send it back to the planning board and
Well, we have time if that's the direction you want to go. I just need to have a clear site plan that I can submit as part of the application. We don't have to, move that process forward right away. I just need to know how to submit it to CAMA, because whatever we submit, they're going to want to see constructed. If we start moving it, they're going to want to start asking questions on why'd you move it after you told us you're doing X, Y, and Z.
yeah.
So keep moving forward as is,
Yeah.
and if we wind up needing to do a text amendment to reduce that setback. It is the only place in town, the only zoning district that has a 50-foot setback is our RA district. Everything else,
I was actually surprised when you said it was 50-foot setback.
yeah, is quite a bit.
That's a lot.
I mean, is this a good opportunity to change it? Do you know what the rationale to have a 50-foot buffer?
Well, so we're allowed to, under the ordinances, you can have a town park in any of our zoning districts.
Right.
This one was chosen to be RA just because it is 57 acres. It is
Right.
rural, if you will, in that regard. Generally, we do allow residential structures on a rural agricultural lot as well, one single residence per RA lot. So the idea is that when you have several of these lots, and we really don't have that many in town, but theoretically, they would be larger lots, so things are just typically set back a little further.
Okay.
A little more spaced out kind of deal. Okay, well, I will move forward then with the layout that we've originally talked about and previously submitted for pre-consideration. Let's see. Along with that, we do need to start getting quotes for the construction. The contractors that I've reached out to so far don't want to give quotes without, they don't want to spend a whole lot of money giving a detailed quote unless they know they're actually bidding on the job.
Yeah.
And when I tell them it's going to be months before we can submit it out for bids, probably after the first of next year. The ones that I've spoken to all want to charge a little something for that work. Do you have any objection to paying for preparing those bids?
No,
Okay. It's within the budget that we have. We have some set aside for it. Let's see, give you an update on Ken. He is scheduled for his triple bypass surgery tomorrow. So if you would remember him tomorrow, he'll be up in Greenville. So, I mentioned 3 months ago, that as a result of changes at the North Carolina League of Municipalities, they would no longer be providing dental, vision, short-term disability, or life insurance programs, or health insurance, which we're not getting our help from them, but any of those programs that we're currently participating in. So Jane and I have been reaching out to different carriers to try to find replacement coverage for each of those. We were able to find coverage pretty much to match exactly what we have with new carriers within the budget the board's already approved for it. So those would be the life and short-term disability would be from the Hartford Company through Chalk and Gibbs. Dental would be Delta Dental, and vision would be VSP through the Hill Group. The only one that is different, we could not match it anywhere close and stay within budget, was the dental side of things. We had a really good plan through the League of Municipalities. This new plan, the thing that changes is for major dental work, it would only cover 50% of the cost rather than 80% of the cost. So I don't have something prepared for you on it yet. What I wanted to do was ask you, the savings that we will see by transitioning from this plan to the other is about $2,000 a year. Now, it's not likely that we're going to have that much major dental work by any of our employees to make it the difference between 50% and 80%. So what I was going to suggest to you would be that we set aside $2,000, the difference between those two plans, and then offset any expense that employees might have between those two coverage amounts. So that we're basically keeping the same coverage that they currently have and reducing the town's expense. The likelihood that you're going to reach $2,000 in a year based on that percentage is very small. You should, in most years, have a savings. You might have a year where you're maxing out that 2,000, but most years you're actually going to see a savings for that. If that's something that you want to do in order to keep that level benefit, then I'll put together a policy for you to take a look at next month. But before I spend much time doing that, I wanted to just kind of float it by you first.
Yeah, put it together.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put that together. The last thing, in our budget, we had proposed to start charging for usage of the gym fees. There has been some kind of pushback from the rec leagues due to the cost burden for some of them. I was just wondering if the board would be willing to give a little bit of time before we actually start implementing that, give them an opportunity to come in and speak to you and just kind of hold those fees off for a little bit, given the transitions taking place.
Talking about like next month.
Yeah, we can get them scheduled for next month if you want.
Okay.
All right.
They got to realize we have fees because they're using it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially this time of year when it's hot. So
Yeah. Well,
We have expenses.
yeah, this is my whole argument from day one. When you treat this one like this, you got to treat them all like that, and you can't just pick and choose. You got to be consistent, and sooner or later, you got to put the foot down and say we got to be consistent. This is because if not, you're going to have that same group coming here all the time, every time. Say, well, we weren't planning for this. Well, we weren't either.
I agree.
And at the end of the day, we just got to put our foot down and be stern about it, and move forward, and be consistent. Because if we're not consistent, it's gonna put us in a bad situation eventually.
Well, like you said, if it's costing us, what'd you say, $8,000 a year for maintenance? For air conditioning, heating and everything else, and they're not paying anything on that. It's-
Yeah.
It's a no win for them.
I'd love that benefit too. wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, the advantage that we receive by them being in there is we do get a discounted rate on our insurance. And if they weren't in there, we would still have, you know, a lot of the overhead that we currently see.
Yeah,
So we probably wouldn't have the air conditioning set at, I think it's set at 75 or 76 in there.
But that 75, 76, when a group goes in there, they're gonna want it cooler.
They don't,
They will.
well, they may want it cooler, but there's
Yeah.
there's locks on it.
No,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is you're gonna get the complaint, I
Right.
needed to be cooler.
You might get that when they start paying, but now that they're not paying anything, we haven't heard that complaint.
Yeah,
But I'll,
been there, done that. Yeah.
but yeah, it would take me a little time to put that process together for them anyhow, like we talked about scheduling for it, so. I appreciate you giving a month to work on that. That's all I have.
David, one question, been a while since we talked about it, but have we done any planning on the gate at the park? Have you had a chance to look at it?
So I've reached out to 2 different contractors that are supposed to be putting together some quotes for us. Of course, it won't be done, you know,
Sure.
this fiscal year, in the next week.
Sure.
But yeah,
We had talked
Working
about
on
it a
put-
while back, I just wanted an update.
yep,
You can't get it done in a week?
no, sure can't.
Hey, what, Mayor? You gonna do something here?
I can't even get them to show up in the next week.
are we looking at having that done by October?
We'll see.
Possibly anyway.
Yeah, we'll see, you know.
Famous last words, we'll see.
You know anybody?
I don't know anybody. Funland, there.
Yeah. Say you're a good 90, 120 days out.
They have not on their own called me back with information. I've had to reach out to them.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Jerry, you got a little pull over
I
there.
can try. I can try something. Just gotta get the details.
there's not a whole lot of companies that do that kind of
I
work.
know, that's what I'm saying.
No,
All right, Jane.
I don't have anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go to public comment. If you will, just come right up here and give us your name and address for the record.
Michael Voss. Address.
Sure.
213 Jones Street.
Thank you.
I'm a resident on Jones Street. And we have some questions. Went over the minutes and there was a statement concerning the dredging of Myrtle Creek, which parallels Sunset and Jones Street. And a lot of us were not aware of the meeting or aware of the content of this statement. So I'd like to read it, if I may. It says, the residents of Sunset Drive have requested dredging from Jones Street to Sunset with a 25% match required. Commissioner Winberry stated that the mouth is full of sand and this would only benefit the residents of Sunset. The residents of Sunset, or the residents are prepared to pay for the dredging, but are hopeful that a grant can be obtained for the majority of the expense. The final decision will be up to Cameron. So with that being said, I think there are gonna be some questions here, but I'm just wondering, where does this go from here? What's the step forward?
So I'll kind of set the stage for last month's discussion. Josh Thomas, one of your residents there on Sunset, reached out and said, hey, we understand that there's a grant available the shallow water navigation grant or something like that. That can be used to provide some funding, for the dredging of that area, and I'm going to pull it up here for you on the screen. So basically from the channel out here, the edge of Jones Street, up and around, and along the frontage there of Sunset. He said they had done, I guess he and some residents, had done some research and thought that that might be a possibility. And did I think that that was something that the board might want to consider? So last month, as I did this month, kind of gave an update as to the request to get their feedback. Frankie Winberry, being familiar with the area, and I guess most, if not all of you, made those comments in the context of that. Sure. The statement, one of the statements he made was a concern as to whether or not CAMA would even allow the dredging. So the first step before anything I think could really take place is to determine, is it capable of being dredged? Because if it's not capable of being dredged, then there's no sense us wasting our time and resources to try to put together a grant.
Sure. So,
Assuming the residents want to participate in this process.
Well, what would be the next step? Do we as the residents put forth a camera request, or can you assist us in that endeavor?
That would be up to the board whether they want to assist in that endeavor. It takes some time and effort. I'm not sure what the cost of that application is. It's probably, depending on the volume, it could be either a general permit or a major permit.
Yeah. Mayor, can I
Possibly, most likely.
Go
a
ahead.
major.
Because we would certainly like to have your assistance, since you're probably have to do something like that.
We're not. I'll be honest with you, I've been here almost 6 years and we have not done any dredging. We have not asked for any dredging permits.
That's one question I had. What assistance you could offer us?
There you go, Jerry.
Yeah, so
Yeah, these are all residents of Sunset and Jones Street.
If you would come up, state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Well, I'm actually not a resident of this. I live at 302 Cedar Point Boulevard. I dabble in camera permits and stuff through my profession and whatnot, and I saw it in the meeting minutes, and I have interest in getting it dredged and that sort of thing. I think there is concerns with natural habitat there for it being dredged. And I looked at some aerial imagery to check the history of it, and it looks like there have been possibly dredging some past years. So I didn't know what the status of. I saw the minutes. I was like, is there a permit? Is there like a maintenance permit we can tag onto? Is there already a grant out that we can, like, if there's a permit going to CAM already, can we put that into that permit? Because I know a major requires 26 agencies I've done on this. So I wondered if there was a status, if there was a current permit, if you all had any privy knowledge too, whether there was a current permit out for that or in our marina.
As far as my knowledge, the town has never dredged anything in there.
Okay, and so where I live, I'm at the boathouse.
And I've been here since 2007.
Okay, so the aerial imagery I saw was actually 2006. Sorry to meet you.
Yeah.
And it actually used to be closed off. Yeah.
But I'd sit on the board now, not Cedar Point.
I was able to. You can see it pretty distinct on Google or historic imagery,
Okay.
which had that data, but I didn't actually check them. And I looked at the 3 days for the 70s, 80s, and the 2024. But I mean, if there was a permit out there, or if there was other people doing dredging, it seemed like from how I read the minutes, I thought we were tagging on to another permit, so I thought we could get it included.
Anything that was
Not
done
do an
in,
extra permit.
anything that was done in there was probably done at night.
that's.
So, yeah.
So like in my neighborhood, they did some dredging in that marina there near the Flying Bridge, or Flying Bridge used to be before some did it and all that stuff. And I just wondered if y'all already know what that permit was, if they involved you in doing that, if that was just out of their own general permit or maintenance agreement with them and that sort of thing. I'm trying to figure out if you were involved, how that's involved, what the status is.
I remember some dredging on that point right there.
Yeah.
But I don't know who did that dredging.
That was private. It was private.
Was it private? You sure?
I got a call from Steve today. I just how the meeting minutes, I didn't know if it was already something that was first, it was already permit building, dredged the channel there, they did it out in front of Bass Street that was big. Army Corps, so that's obviously not what's going on down here. So that's like.
Yeah, I don't, you
Yeah,
know,
no,
I
that
don't,
project is something we're partnering with the county at Boat Inlet on
Okay,
the
yeah.
cost sharing, but
Yeah.
you know,
No, there has
you see-
been-
you see those dredges up there every now and then, you know, I don't know if one is over there.
Yeah.
But I do remember what you're talking about, because that was closed up
It was.
and it's open now.
Right there and there, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not the current permit, there isn't a current grant app, we're not tagging anything, that's just a request made by. Okay, sorry, that doesn't, my bad, getting up to speed here, okay, well, I do have some knowledge, I think down the system, whatever we want to do, if that would help us get some grant money.
I guess just reach out to Kate.
Yeah, so it sounds like we gotta get a camera out there to do an initial assessment, probably a bottom assessment, check wildlife and oysters and stuff. And check it, I mean, I gotta do a research and reach out and see if there's any German permits that are, or major permits that offer maintenance in that area. Is that?
yeah, I would suggest if you have that expertise that we don't have, or familiarity with it, I mean,
I just didn't know what the stats was, I didn't know if it was ball rolling and we can tag into it or it doesn't sound like it.
there is no ball rolling.
Okay, yeah.
Frankie was kind of the opinion that it probably won't get approved by CAMA because of the habitat
Yeah.
that's in the area.
Yeah.
But we can't make that. That's not for us to make that decision. It'd be up to the CAMA. But if the CAMA permit could be issued, then the town would be empowered to apply for the grant. The question would then become the matching portion of it, right? The state would cover 75%, the other 25%. Is that something that the residents are asking the town to cover that 25%, or would the residents cover that?
I think we're ready to put up a 40%.
So it sounds like the next step would be to figure out whether or not CAMA would even approve it.
Yeah.
And maybe some initial conversations with them can kind of say possibility or no go at all.
Okay. And is there any other permits like that in the area? I think we. Maybe covers.
Yeah.
Covers, so they install that boat ramp right here. I mean, that seems like a similar habitat, a similar feature, and I didn't know if you were involved with that. Again, I've got
No.
just started, we don't have a house there yet. I'm starting to learn all my neighbors, meet everybody. And I was like, hey, I'm definitely gonna give assistance because get my captain's license next month. That's one thing, so. I have this interest.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar.
Or if
With,
y'all did any, had done
So-
the grant with anybody.
so we have not done this grant program before. I know the county has a good resource to reach out to would be he's a shore protection officer. I can't think of his name right offhand. Ryan Davenport. I think he helped the county apply for a shallow draft permit for a place in the military last year, 2 years ago, or something like that. Ryan.
Yeah.
He's the Carteret County Shore Protection Officer. And he used to work for CAMA, so he's very familiar with the
Yeah,
regulations.
I would really try to get in touch with him, pick
Yeah.
his brain, and then he would guide you, because it's gonna be a major permit, you
Yeah.
have to apply for it.
Yeah.
And then Ryan would tell you yes or no, you're wasting your time or not, because he has the ability to,
Yeah.
he knows that,
Oh,
because he's been
absolutely.
in
I mean,
that.
that's
Yeah.
definitely the first step is to reach out.
I would definitely reach
Get
out to
out
him.
there and I'll take him around, see what's going on.
Yeah, and you can take him right down there and he'll tell you exactly.
They got good.
I can look it up for you.
Looking it up?
Yeah. It's Shore, SHORE, Shore Protection.
Shore County, or Shore.
Carteret County Shore Protection.
My experience has been like just shoreline stabilization and putting moisture structures and stuff. I don't do a whole other. It's more enhanced, so this is.
Let's see, Google search. 252-222-5835. Extension 5666.
5666.
That's correct. And he's very familiar with Cedar Point. He, as a CAMA officer, this was the area that he worked, so he's very familiar with all waterfront.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you can find out whether it's likely to move forward, if it's something that CAMA was likely to approve.
Yeah.
Then we can start the process of trying to get that permit together, and then if the board's willing to participate, because we have to be the ones that apply for the grant. We have to take responsibility for it. Overseeing the grant, making sure we're, following all the regulations and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so what you're saying, pretty much, the ball's in our court, we're gonna reach out to. Sure, what's his name?
Ryan.
And then go from there. Because we're hearing different things. We heard, yes, you do during certain times of the year, it's okay, and yeah, you're not gonna have a problem, but nobody can give us a straight answer, so this seems to be the next course of action.
Your two avenues are with Ryan, which is Carter County Shore Protection, and then basically CAMA.
Okay.
Those are your two options. I will tell you that.
That's
Honestly.
something that's very helpful.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, then it's up to the board to what extent.
If there is
dredging going on next
Congress code.
If you would, state your name, I'm sorry.
Mike Powell, I just had a question.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Mike Powell,
Okay, sorry.
134. Just in regards to the Congress code, if there's dredging there, they wouldn't have to go through you if they weren't asking for a grant.
Correct. Yeah, anything that's purely water development, if it's in the water itself, then it doesn't come, we have no jurisdiction in the water. If it is something that's tied to land, if somebody's putting in a bulkhead or a pier or something like that, they're going to get their CAMA permit, and then we issue a zoning permit just so that we track it to make sure that it gets put on the tax rolls and all that sort of stuff. But we don't regulate any waterfront development when it comes to that. That's purely CAMA's jurisdiction.
Put on the tax.
Yeah.
The county appreciates it more than we do.
Yeah. A lot.
It is what it is. And a lot of times we will come across people doing work that have neither their CAMA permit or their building permit. So, then we stop them and get both of them involved. Because we serve as kind of that middleman between CAMA and the building permits that they should be getting for it as well. You're welcome.
And that's generally the rule.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Also, other question, where's this gym we're talking about? I think we're all asking that question,
Yeah.
the gym we spoke about.
You know where the firehouse is?
Yeah,
Right across the street.
okay, yeah, we'll talk about that.
It's the old Cedar Point Gymnastics building.
Okay.
And the town purchased it a couple years ago with the intention of turning it into a recreational facility. Once we pay off the park, we've had the park debt, and it'll actually be paid off February of next year. So we only have a couple payments left. And then we can start setting aside the money to upfit the gym.
Okay, so is it?
So what's in it now?
It's a vacant shell of a building, couple softball, 11 softball teams are practicing in there at the moment. They're meeting in the evenings and doing they have a batting cage and some pitching type stuff on the inside. We found out, a year and a half ago, that out there at Western Park, there are several fields, only one of which is dedicated to softball, the rest are dedicated to baseball. And there are 11 teams trying to use that one softball field. And so the board graciously opened it up for gym for that use. And as I mentioned earlier, it does save on our insurance on the building by it not being vacant anymore. But yeah, some limited use.
Any other comments? Anything else?
I heard about the hospital. Urgent care, is that still in? Still in place of yes or no?
They're coming.
They're clearing right now.
So the hospital facility is coming. They have committed to coming to Cedar Point. What what's taking place right now is in order to have certain pieces of equipment, MRI machines, CAT scan type machines, or to have an emergency room, you have to get state approval through what's called a certificate of need law. So you basically have to demonstrate that there's a need in the area before you can spend the money to put it in. So they're committed to coming to Cedar Point. The question is, will the state allow there to be the emergency room as part of that project? Doesn't look like there'll be any issue with it. I think that will move forward. Once they determine exactly what can go in that building, then they will come back to the town for a commercial site plan approval process. Once they have that in place, then they can move forward with construction. So they're hoping to do that later this year.
Need an emergency room.
We do, and it'll really cut down on the amount of how far the ambulance has to go to Moorhead. Cut down on that expense, wear and tear on the EMS. We've needed that for a long time in this end of the county.
Okay. All right, John.
Yeah, I'm just to follow on, I did speak at that certificate of need hearing, and it is a benefit to not only Cedar Point, but to Western Carteret and also the region. You know, they see it, and I applaud them for it. They see it as a facility that will be used by folks in Swansboro and folks as far as Maysville, in addition to folks in the in our area. It's going to be an economic boom for us because, as Commissioner Windery and I have said for a long time, you know, we are the kind of the hub in Western Carteret for economic activity for businesses. And I would say that medical services is probably one of the biggest job fighters that we have in Cedar Point. If you look at all the medical buildings we have, all the doctor's offices, that's only going to grow. So it's going to be a benefit to the citizens. It's going to be a benefit to the town. It's going to be a benefit to the county.
Thanks, John. Hey,
So I like the sign. Good job. That looks nice. I'm glad to see it's finally up and running and can't wait to see what Alicia and Jenny figure out to do with it.
It's mostly Alicia. That stuff has gone right over my head.
But I think it's gonna be really nice to have that for the town so people can see what's going on when they drive by and things like that. And it's nice to see that already. So I'm glad to see that. Looking forward to having an ER this close. That would be great. Hope that all comes to fruition.
right, you go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can walk. Although if I'm needing the ER, maybe not. And I just want to thank you, Kurt. All the good work. I mean, Cedar Point wouldn't be the same without you, and your support. So thank you very much. Yeah. That's it. Everybody be safe out there in the heat. Don't overdo it. It's not that friendly.
It's not. Well, all right, Gary.
I just want to say pray for what's going on in the Middle East right now. That's a big topic right now. Everybody brave the heat.
Yep.
Right here.
Good job on the sign. I want to also say tell the maintenance crowd, good job on 58, cutting that little extra piece right there where it looks good with Cape Carteret. That looks really good and inviting with people coming into Cedar Point and Cape Carteret, getting to the beach light. So kudos to the maintenance staff. Tell them thank you there, as well as keeping up the sidewalks and everything. I know that's a job. It's not easy to do that, but thanks everybody. It's been a good first 6 months, and we got 6 more to go.
6 months.
Yeah. So we got 6 more to go, but it's been good so far, and have a safe and happy 4th of July. Be safe out there, and thanks for everything you do.
Mayor, I said I didn't have anything for my town clerk report, but we have an email program here at Town Hall. It is strictly for town business. When I launch the agenda packets, it comes out to the email that you give to me. If any of you would like to be on it, please let me know. You can give me a call here at Cedar Point. You can sign up on our website, however you want. Like I said, it's only town business. You won't get spammed for, vitamins and things like that. It'll just be town business.
No spam?
No spam.
Wow.
Some more.
I don't have anything that doesn't get spammed. Okay. Have you guys met Yogi? We got a new town employee, Yogi. If you see
Haven't met
him,
him yet,
if
no.
you see him out there working, walk up there and talk to him. He's a very nice guy, very hard worker. It's a good hire, Dave. We need it.
Yogi's his name.
Thank you, Yogi.
His name is John.
John.
Okay.
Okay.
His nickname's Yogi. Cause I called him Yogi, he's gonna be.
Yeah, you lost me there, Yogi.
I'll be Yogi for it.
He's gonna tell you he wants to be called Yogi. Believe me, it's not from me.
Yeah, well, good. That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear. You always got to make the team good. So that's good.
Okay, 4th of July is coming, guys. Kurt knows it's coming. So just be careful out here on these roads. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. If you can stay home and cook at home, stay home and cook at home. Me too. My boats and kayaks and all that, they stay at the house. Nothing goes out on the water. So, yeah. So I've been in Alaska for 16 days. It's quite a bit different than here. There's not much traffic there. There's a lot of whales. I saw a lot of whales, bears, saw moose, saw about everything you can see. And it wasn't that cold. It was about 42 to about 60. But it rains, you know. It's like a jungle over there, Alaska, and it rains like every day. So you pretty much got to plan, you're either going to be cold or you're going to be wet. So you just lock down everything you're gonna wear that was warm and put a raincoat over the top of it and keep going. But I ate the biggest crab legs there I've ever seen. I eat them around here. I go to Myrtle Beach all the time and I eat them around here, just regular crab legs. These crab legs are that long, y'all. And I mean, they're that big and round. And now they're going to cost you a couple $100 and you're going to say, I'm not going to pay that. But one time out there, you're going to pay it. But I'd pay it again. They were really good. And I couldn't eat that much crab. When you bust a crab leg and the meat's about that big and round, it's crazy. And I don't know if you see my wife on Facebook, but she's got crazy pictures on there where you think she's a crazy woman. But that's what she's doing, is eating those crab legs. But it was fun. We did a lot of things. We'll probably end up back out there again. We travel a lot. If you haven't been to Alaska, it's a good place to go visit. Real fun. And with that said, we have a closed session tonight. We're going to have to excuse you guys from our meeting, but our next meeting is July 22nd. We'd love to have all y'all show back up. And I'll let you talk about anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, see ya. It may be a little more exciting next month. This was kind of.
That was some big packages to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started going through.
That's why I couldn't find it
Never
today.
end.
I was like, man, I can't find it.
I remember it was 800 some pages.
When does this end?
Yeah, he already warned us on
God,
that.
went all the way to Alaska, ran into somebody in those meetings.
I did. As a matter of fact, he's knew a lot of people in Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Paul Musco, you, all kinds of people. We saw a guy with North Carolina license plates on his truck. So of course, Nancy, anybody knows Nancy, she walked over there to talk to him, see where he's from, what he was about. And told us and Nancy was standing there, she pulled him up on Facebook. Well, I had like 15, 20 friends that he was friends with on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm friends with him.
So you were on there. So it's pretty cool, but he's
Shell's on there with him.
and he's from here and he lives here, but he charters a boat in Alaska. And he actually drove that sucker out there. Did you know that?
Did he?
Yeah. So pretty cool. He's a good guy.
They pull it on there.
Small world, he pulled it. He's a nice guy. It's a small world though. It's just like Frank Rush. I'm hiking in Utah and Frank Rush walks up to me out there while I'm hiking. It's just You never know. You just never know. Okay, I need a motion to go into closed session in accordance with NCGS 143-318.1 A5, real estate discussion.
So move.
Got a motion on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're now in closed session. We're now in a regular meeting.
If there's anyone out here, I'll let them know that we're out of closed session if they want to come back in.
There was a crowd out there earlier for a while.
You know what was funny is they were all exchanging numbers in here.
Really?
Where do you live? What's your name? Where's your
They're
number?
neighbors.
And they're neighbors. And they
Yeah.
come in here one that asks for $250,000.
And I'll take 3/4 of the blame for not bringing this up earlier.
3/4?
3/4.
3/4.
Yeah. The mayor and I went to a mayor's dinner this past week. And we were provided a presentation over some signage that the TDA wants to put throughout the county, the Tourism Development Authority. They want to put in some wayfinding signage throughout the county to provide some uniformity in marketing the area as a whole. And I want to show you what they're proposing, and I'm taking most of the blame of this, but Mayor was there as well. We talked about putting it on for tonight for discussion at least.
We did.
I was there.
Yeah. So 12.5 to each of you.
I'll take that.
Give me just a second. While we were talking just a moment ago.
Well, I figured you were just gonna print the document. And then these guys would have a chance to take a look at it, because it's quite a bit to decipher there. You and I thought.
I figured it'd be right by our sign.
So that's, like I said, the first level, that there's gonna be those spread out at all entrances to the county, basically. Actually, I think in Pelletier, they'll be a little closer. They're not gonna do it at the county line, they're gonna move it into Pelletier, basically. They're proposing one of these at each of the 2 bridge turnoffs. They said this one would actually be on the Cape Hardwick side. So over there in front of McDonald's. On that intersection, on that corner of the intersection, to say beaches. And then they've proposed these signs for each of the towns, including Cedar Point. They're 12 feet tall. And they have these 4 different layers to them to have the different colored aspects to them. They don't have one drawn here of Cedar Point, but you kind of get the idea. Where he would propose that one, of course, they're willing to work with us wherever we want. But closer to this intersection back here. So our town sign currently sits right here. As you come across the bridge, this would be further back, somewhere back in here. So it wouldn't be right on top of our other one. But it would be to make it more uniform with the other towns throughout the county.
One per town.
So depending on the town and depending on where, possibly more. And I can show you a map. If we wanted one at the intersection at A-Man's Corner, where our current sign is at the 58 intersection, they would put one there if we wanted to. I had asked about putting one when you come across the Pettiford Creek Bridge. He said they hadn't budgeted for that one, but
We don't have anything there.
yeah, we don't currently have anything. So how much money they have available to spend left? They're currently $4,000 over budget. And they're anticipating not all of the signs that they're proposing will be accepted by all the towns, so. And this is gonna be a year-long process or so. They have wayfinding signage that they're proposing in different places to go along with it. I don't know that we would have any wayfinding specifically in Cedar Point, but that's what some of that would look like. These would be mile marker posts that they would swap out on the island. So as you're going from one end of the island to the other. A lot nicer looking. These are wooden posts with rope around the bottom and then the color scheme. This is one I talked to him about. Rather than saying public beach access, if we could have one made that said public water access and point to our Boathouse Creek Park. I think that may add some more visibility to it, provided the board wants to kind of participate in this signage design.
What about the boat ramp?
So this is the public beach access ones. They have these as well. So this would be at Dudley's and this would be at the boat ramp.
Okay.
And those they can put in without our approval. The marina one would go in this island. So basically you would have our sign, marina, and welcome to the Crystal Coast right here. So you would see three of that same pattern fairly close together.
And the city and the pound sign, right? The marina sign is different from the pound sign.
Here's the marina sign.
Right, then you got one that's the Cedar Point. Then you've got basically 3 or 4 signs all within how many blocks?
Well, they're spread out. I mean, if you go out there and walk it, they're not right on top of each other. And then I asked about, did he have any plans of putting that on 58 pointing to the Croatan campground? He said he'd look into it.
It should.
I mean, you gotta, one
Well,
thing,
they have one, don't they?
yeah, you gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do for one, you gotta do for all.
Yeah. And it may be an issue of, they may not be able to do it in the first year, but get some more funding for the second year to figure out all the places they missed, or get the county commissioners to pitch a little bit more into it.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but this is an agency that's never spent a dime to tourism, in the past in Cedar Point. Then all of a sudden they want to put, 3 or 4 signs in our town. If everything goes to beach, the island and maybe Moorhead, but nothing comes down this way.
Countywide.
Well, he's got, he's proposing 205 signs countywide.
Just wish we had some tourism money coming in to us to help publicize Cedar Point.
Well, I mean, there's some additional signage for the campground,
Better than
marina,
nothing.
boat ramp.
Yeah, that's what you got right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost us anything.
So the question that he had, there's certain things, like I said, the county sign, we really don't have a say in, they're going to do, period, it's a DOT right away. Do we want to participate with them in changing out these campground and other sign type stuff in town? And do we want the tall Cedar Point sign as you come in from Swansboro and or Pelletier and or 2458?
Tall vertical sign.
The tall vertical signs.
I mean, that would be the one we need since we have, our big sign. That's kind of, I don't know if it's overkill or not.
It doesn't bother me at all.
So
Yeah.
So I like the idea of having the one at the town entrance, because I think when you come in from Swansboro, when you come in and you see our sign, that 12-foot tall sign, and then you see the marina sign, and then you see that county one, and all 3 of them look consistent, I think that's gonna look good together.
And that's why I wanted something down by Boathouse Creek.
Yeah. And that'll be another one that's just a continuation of that pattern as somebody comes into the county.
Right.
Well,
Well,
it's recognizable.
Yeah.
And when people drive through there, it's recognizable.
well, it's
what you
consistent
got.
too. It
Yeah.
shows like, oh,
Yeah.
Cedar Point,
And,
oh,
and
Cedar
they'll,
Point Marina,
they'll
Cedar
see
Point
stuff
Campground.
they didn't know what's there.
There's so many people-
Boathouse Creek.
So many people don't even know where Cedar Point, I mean, they say, what are y'all gonna do with that Starbucks?
Oh,
Ain't got nothing to do with Starbucks. We're not in,
They think we're.
we don't have Starbucks
We don't
Subway.
have Starbucks. Or Subway.
or Subway, yeah. Well, that's not our town.
So I like the idea personally of those 3 there. And if they would do one at Pettiford Creek, I think that would be nice to show that you're transitioning out of Pelletier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Especially if Cape Carteret does one on their side, so that for people that are crossing that bridge and you look and on the right-hand side says Cedar Point, on the left-hand side says Cape Carteret, people can start getting oriented as soon as they cross that bridge.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then
That was it, yeah.
I would probably wait and make sure we're in agreement with Cape Carteret on the 2458 intersection. if they're gonna put one on their side, we put one on our side as well, so that they match. But I wouldn't want us to have one and them not have one, because then I think it's gonna look offset, or they have one and we not have one. But as long as they match together, where people can know, oh, okay, I'm transitioning from one town to the other here.
Mhm. Yeah,
It'll,
let
it'll
people
definitely help
understand
them.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, everything at that intersection is gonna change anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, he was talking about, he'd like to put, basically that 12-foot sign closer to 24 than our current sign, as far as closer to the road. But maybe a little further back, pretty much in front of the, digital billboard there. And, I told him, I said, well, good luck getting it that close to the right of way, because we are as close as they'll let us go for that sign. But, I mean, they're working with DOT on all these different locations. But what he wanted from us is, are we willing to participate with these other signage?
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, good move.
Cost me no money.
Yep.
It's free.
Yep.
Yeah, and it looks good.
And they're gonna set money aside each year to maintain them as well. So they're not gonna just throw them up there and expect us to maintain them.
Are we done with this?
We're done with that.
Speaking of campground, anybody been down to the Cedar Point campground lately?
Yeah.
I've been there in a while.
It looks terrible.
Does it?
Government.
All that, like going down to the boat ramp and all, you know, like where the parking is and all. It's overgrowth. You can't even see if a car's coming out of the parking lot if you're going. It's pretty sad that they haven't gone down there and cut that back. It's bad.
They have no money.
It's
They
bad.
wasted all their $750,000 on that part.
Yeah.
And
But
then
y'all should ride down there and just
then
go
they
down to the
didn't come
waterfront.
back and do anything with it.
It's bad.
I mean, that old parking area, I mean, I look at it more of a safety issue. You know, you get somebody to hide behind them bushes, you know, in that parking lot. I mean, I'm just saying that, you know,
What are you doing looking behind them bushes?
there's some creepers that go down there, bud.
That's what I'm asking.
You had
you.
to-
Huh?
you had to pee or something.
There's some creepers down there.
Heard that.
Ride
Talk to him about
I
that.
ride my bike down there once in a while. I'm like, what in the world? It's just sad that it's like that.
Well, what's sad is the lack of use out there from people who want to use it, because there's no water to any of the campsites.
Exactly.
Years ago, there used to be water, and they had some of the water lines bust,
Yeah.
and they've never spent the money.
If you start talking to anybody like we have, that's the first thing you hear is there's
No water?
Frankie Winberry's. There's no water out there.
I thought there was water. I thought
There
this
was.
wasn't septic,
There was.
but there's not now.
No.
But they still have a bathhouse, right? They-
Yeah, there's a bathhouse,
Yeah,
but
but
you
not-
have to go to a central location and fill up your
Tank.
your
Yeah.
whitewater tanks,
But you don't have it at
and
the
then
site.
move back to your
I
site.
didn't know they didn't.
I knew there was a dumping station, no
Yeah.
septic, but
It's basically at the same spot where you fill up water.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's tasty water.
Water in, water out.
But it's pretty, I mean, the growth is over the signs, everything. It's terrible. Terrible.
You can go to a county meeting and complain about it.
Yeah, well,
That's
Federal.
state, that's federal, that's
that's
the,
not, yeah, I'm just wasting my time if I
USDA.
go
Yeah,
there.
but they're the next step. You can't go to the top.
all they say is that our budgets were cut, we got no people.
That's right.
Call
That's
Trump.
it.
And then everybody took a year.
Trump will talk to you.
Yeah.
All right, that was all I had
That's all you have?
for the second time.
Okay. Well, that's a good deal. I mean, David's got a bunch of pamphlets and stuff on that thing there. It's pretty good. They put a lot of work in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of money in it, let me
They
tell you. So, okay, anybody got anything else worthy? If not, I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion on the floor. All those in favor?
All right.
July 22nd, the next meeting. Y'all try and make it. Here.
I'll be here.